it shouldn't really not come to surprise to you all that I play mostly a lot of pretty much solo queuing in co-op games, and mostly play a lot of solo these days. Either that majority of my friends have either moved on from the game or don't have much time in the world as they used to, and playing with pubs can be a hellish nightmare for like 90% of the time, especially if you're trying to play it on the highest difficulty. But if you're playing like a normal difficulty, that's I'm I'm fine with that, but I would never ever play on the highest difficulty because not everyone else it can be the same skill level. So I don't expect as much. And I definitely expect, well, people going down and fail a lot because the game really punish not just for that player, but also punish me as well because, well, because I don't do shit. I get punished for no reason. But that's how it goes. And now I have now you think to answer a simple question of why do I always play solo in these games? Well, as as always with one question, there's always got to be multiple answers. And I pretty much have a lot of answers for it and a lot of reasons for it. So I'm going to go over these ones. And no, I don't think any of these reasons is a bad thing or even a sad thing. I find they all have a pretty good reason. Although I do have one personal reason for it. All the other ones is just kind of basically more for makes sense.
Got it.
Number one is essentially to help you to give you a good practice or a warm up. You know, just in case that you want to, like you already have plans with playing with your buddy, but unfortunately your buddy can't be home for like until about 3 hours. It basically gives you enough time to warm yourself up, and especially playing a game that you hadn't played for such a long time. That way you can actually learn the controls again, and of course practice your hands-eye coordination as well of relaxing with your mind. Just help you to freshen up a bit so you don't, and so you're not completely rusty, and basically play just like, and try and play like a new beginner. Number two is, well, it's basically pretty much goes to any content creators, and that is just you can able to dish out content without worrying about your time schedule. Since most of the time that when people do do content all that they would have to get a set up time and basically able to play it, which we all know that sometimes timing will never be on our side for most part. But if it's just with yourself and you know you have plenty of time you can actually take the advantage of it. And at least this way, if people like your content and they like to want to play with you, at least that way you can actually create some more friends this way. So at least doing all the solo stuff, it's actually kind of beneficial. So as long you're doing something, as long you're getting people's attention of what you're doing as your content, then you're definitely doing something right. Number three is, well, is pretty much a it's pretty much a game thing, and that is basically you have full control of your game. That means you don't have to worry about any other players in terms of their worriedness or just how long they could play the game. And of course the best part, well, you could just pause the game. if you need to, do a little bit of chores, but you're still like in a game that you cannot save state, or you just need to go to use a washroom or grab you something to eat, you can do that. Now, I know there's many other games have the server pause, but unfortunately not all games that's in a co-op has this, such as Payday 2 and, well, Back for Blood, which I do think should deserve a server pause. I'm not sure about Payday 2 though, due to, well, the lack of the capabilities for its, well, very outdated engine. Hopefully this is a presence for Payday 3, especially if it's going to be running on the Unreal Engine. And another good example like this is, well, if you're playing like a survival mode where you have basically, let's say you have all the zombies with you, and you have all the zombies to yourself, you can able to make a big train of it without worrying about other people's in your way or blocking your path. And also with that, since you have all control of all the zombies to yourself, you don't have to worry about anyone doing the whole kill stealing or point whoring and blocking progression, or even trolling as well. Number 4 is essentially, pretty much, it's all about, another thing is, well, you can go for some really hard grind. And of course, you know me for many of my games that I usually reach very large max level quite hard and big time. And that is basically reaching the max level, or usually just grind the shit out of it. Even if I had to do the same method over and over and over again, I don't have problems with it because many people, or most of my friends, can't really keep up the same routine because it does get boring for them, and they basically just get a burnout and basically just taking a break from it. Well, I'll still continue it because I still have the energy and the stamina to keep continuing. So, and this is also good too because that way I can get all the content if I need just by grinding out for certain points or going through stuff in the battle pass without buying additional money. After all, I think it's really stupid you have to buy for certain battle passes, but as long as you're able to get your money back, and as long as you keep playing the game for it, you're actually golden. The 5th reason is, I would say, is if you actually have a friend and he has trouble get that certain achievement and he just does not have the time in the world to do it, such as had to do something for like spending like long hours for it, well, you can actually just share the account for that player has, and you can actually play it on your system with their account, and you can be able to help to get the certain achievement / trophy this way, or able to help out to do certain things like grinding out for like certain weapon camos they want, like some mastery camo like either dark matter or dark ether. After all, because those camos is really grindy to go for because you have to low up a lot of your guns. Let's say you need to reach like around level 50 to get the mastery camo in Cold War. Well, in Vanguard, there's like freaking level 70 of weapons to get to. And that's fucking nuts. Of course, they give you all these double weapon XP tokens. But the thing is, do you think they would have much of the time in the world? Probably not. So it's nice to have a buddy to actually help you with this, and who's able to, already complete all their job and all their task, especially with the Already got the mastery camo? Well, you can let someone else actually do it. After all, I did help two of my friends to get some of the trophies and platinums on the classic COD game. And I have to say, the veteran difficulty was definitely challenging, but it was actually quite fun to do. And if they have a certain harder trophy to do for difficulty, well, I wouldn't mind be helping them. Or if they can't really be there at the time, well, I can actually take over. Now for the sixth reason, and now this is the personal one, why I usually play a lot of solos and not with just other players. This is due to, well, pretty much a bit of my shyness, which I already explained before in my pay to career during my episode where I actually became a lot of good friends with a lot of people, especially the meetups with Blood Amos and Tom Wood. If you can actually remember what I said, is even though I'm just acquainted with Tom, I was never really his friends for like almost a year now at the time. And sometimes I do see them on CrimeNet that they're both playing together. And normally, if you feel like you want to join them and you say, and you probably just text them or message them saying, "Hey, can I join you?" And they would either play with a yes or a no, and then of course you would understand. Unfortunately, that wasn't the case for me because, well, I was a little bit too nervous to say it.
Hey, you're just wasting ammo and jeopardizing the operation.
And I feel like I would just kind of bother them because they probably just want to just play it together. That's just a prime example of it. And it's basically in general of I don't really go out and invite people to other if they want to play like a certain game together. I usually do it, but I kind of stopped doing it now since my friends don't really have much time as they used to. So it usually is them that ask me to if want to invite me to play certain games. Since I have much time in the world, and plus it makes more sense because they may be still working, they maybe do have to do other stuff. As for me, I'll just do whatever I can to hold up with some of my content as well of my gaming experience. And it doesn't mean that I don't want to be, play with you anymore. It's not that. It's just I'm just too shy. Too shy to send invite because I just don't want to spam you with freaking invites, and of course, I would never do that. It's just that I don't want to spam you with the same invite to the same game like every day. As well as well, of course, I don't want to be a bother and able to lose a friend just because I try and invite you to a game. And of course, I will never invite anyone that they're offline. And that's a thing too. I keep getting messages to invite the games that I don't even play, and even more so, people still try and invite me to play a game even though I'm not even on my PS4/PS5. They'll probably notice me if I'm on. That's probably because of my phone because I have the PlayStation app. But yeah, that's basically all the reason I say why I play a lot of solo these days. A lot of them is just for good, for beneficial, and one, it's just more my personality of mine. So, if you definitely want to see me, you know, either play with more of you guys or more of you, more of my subscribers, I could definitely do that. Or, of course, anytime I stream like a game that anybody can join, you could always hop in. After all, anybody can join. But yeah, that's gonna be it for my take on pretty much my solo queuing in co-op games. I mean, that was quite a lot of answers for one, one look like a simple question, but that was just lots of answers to go through. And after all, sometimes a simple question, you just can't have one simple answer for it. And after all, at the end of the day, everybody is completely different. Even though I may be a very skillful player, I also can be a bit, well, quite a little bit shy at the end. And especially don't have much good social skills as others. And also, it's also thanks to my other friends that kind of helped me to improve my social skill together. And well, that's gonna be and that's pretty much my story of why I do a lot of solo queuing in co-op games. So I'd like to thank you guys for watching and actually listening to this topic I have. I hope you actually find this useful and gives you a little bit more better understanding on basically of myself. Until then, farewell and have a wonderful day, everyone.
Got it. Score! Pichkova! Delivered! Score! Відчував!